Rackman Christian Radio is looking for sponsors for our current and future ministry programs. For a full list, go to rackmanchristianradio.org/index.php/schedule-programs. Decide which one you would like to support on this station, and then we will create a radio spot mentioning you and or your ministry. Again, thank you so much for everything you're doing to support and share our ministry, reaching around the world, reaching all for Christ. We are the Rackman Christian Radio Network. Rackman Christian Radio, that was Never Claim Jesus Is. And right now, I wish I had a drum roll because I have come to know two of these people that we're going to be talking to as being some of the most sincere, yet exciting, and with a mission for God. And they have a friend with them. I believe his name is Dan, but Jennifer and Jared Adams with Anagale is on our Artist Spotlight right now. Welcome to Rackman Christian Radio.
Thank you, Jeff.
Hey,
thank you. Hello.
Thanks so much. Glad to be here with you.
You're welcome. You know, the team of us almost had a passing while I was in Kansas a few months ago. You guys actually came to Kansas as I was leaving. I mean, that's how close it was that we would have met.
Oh, wow.
So I have always wanted to know this about you guys because it's kind of an interesting name that you've picked. How would you describe Anagale?
Okay, well, I'll take this one. I got the point. Anagale basically means new wind, and it's our daughter's middle name. It is also a broken down version of my grandmother's middle name, and then also Jared's family. So it's got a lot of meaning to it, as well as meaning new wind.
It's a literary mashup, you could say.
Yeah, because I looked up Anagale, and there was something in history about Anagale, or there was a teenager's game called Anagale, and I'm like, wait a minute, maybe we should, maybe we should talk to Jared and Jennifer and make sure that this is not what they're doing. So,
good clarification.
Well, that's awesome. So, let's see. How long have you guys been Anagale? And I understand you've got your bass player with you. Hello there.
Hello.
So,
how are you doing?
Pretty good. So, who does what? I mean, Dan does the bass, but Jared, what do you play?
I do my best to cover all the guitar duties, mandolin, the occasional obligatory harmonica for those acoustic shows, and swapping lead vocals with the lovely Jennifer.
Awesome. And I handle the acoustic keys, tin whistles, anything else I can get my hands on. And then we have a drummer who's sadly not with us today, TJ, and he handles all the perks. So, and Dan plays the bass.
I play the bass.
And you play the bass.
Sings that high, lonesome harmony.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, the bass carries the whole group. You know that, don't you?
It really does.
I've been trying to tell them that.
Yeah, well,
We sit down.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the drummer was there, actually, Dan, I wouldn't be on your side because I am a drummer, and I know the drummer actually carries the whole group. So I'm sorry, buddy.
I'm the element that you don't miss until it's gone.
Well, that's awesome. So how long have you guys been together? And I don't mean as a marriage. I mean as Anagale. We'll get to the marriage part.
Oh, gosh. Well, we've known each other I've known Jared and Jen for 10 years plus.
Yeah.
Been playing music pretty much the whole time.
The entire time, yeah. We've been Anagale probably the past decade, but before that it was just Jared and I. Acoustic duos. We didn't have a full band. But, yeah, we've known each other a very long time, over a decade now.
Right.
Well,
under different names. I think we've toured and done music for 20-some years probably, but we've landed safely at Anagale, and it's definitely become the musical home and outlet for our songs, and it's we're having a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. Yep.
Well, of the 4 songs that I have of yours, which I'm going to do my best to try to play all 4 of them, if not, when we do the on-demand or even the rebroadcast later this evening. Oh, did I tell you that? Yes, during the live shows, we take the live show, we remix it, and we play it again later in the evening. Now, on the day of the show, it's 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. Plus, during the weekend, our ministry radio show friend DJ John Lipinski on the C-Pop Christian Radio Network actually plays all 3 of our live shows on his station. So you guys are going to be exposed. I hope you don't mind.
Hey, that's
great.
fantastic. It's like Christmas
Yeah.
over and over.
Right.
So
I'm glad I shaved and I got dressed.
yeah, the good thing you did. Good thing you did, because yeah, I would have turned the camera on and we would have been all for a shock, right? Yeah, we don't want that. Well, listen, let's talk about some music here, and then we'll come back to more of your story. This is a song, I'm going to be honest, I have not had a chance to listen because I've been so wrapped up with If All I Had. So now you're going to tell me about Beautiful Irony, and tell me the story behind that, please.
And we're going to point to Jared on this one.
Boy, threw us for a loop there. Yeah, Beautiful Irony has been a song that started with 2 very specific friends of mine, of all of ours, but they were on my heart based on some conversations and seasons of life that they were going through. So the verses kind of address my trying to come alongside their journey, and a little bit as a songwriter, you can sometimes try and write from the perspective of other characters and other viewpoints. The mind cave of a songwriter is a deep, mysterious place sometimes, how songs form and the narrative and the perspective they take. So the verses are a little bit from the struggles that these 2 friends were going through. But as the song came together, I realized throughout the chorus and then this overarching theme, it became very autobiographical in the same sense where it's addressing the paradox and the struggle of transformation, trying to live out a life of faith, but yet being very aware and honest with yourself about the struggles that presents in your life. And so there's a line, how far do I have to fall to see what you see in me, which, to quickly address, I think the word you couldn't think of earlier was superfluous, which means an unnecessary amount of information, which is what we as songwriters could give you about all of these songs. So feel free to just say, cut.
Yeah, cut. Actually, I'll be very polite. I'll not say anything. I'll just let you ramble on. You can just be in your own world.
Right.
And then when it comes to the production side of it, that's like 10 seconds of Jared. No.
We see why you edit these shows.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to address the struggle and sometimes the conflict of humanity between, boy, I know I'm being pressed, but ultimately from a very contemplative place, this dark night of the soul that I've walked through has produced amazing fruit and character and strength out of my life. So that's the beautiful irony, is that the wine press and the struggles can really refine us and make us richer people, better friends, better husbands, better wives, all around.
Awesome. Well, coming up next on our new music show, Artist Spotlight with Anna Gale, Beautiful Irony.
I may have given up the promise of the morning. Let tomorrow be a new day for someone else. Every night with that worn out line dawning, I can't help but trust the promise of you. You see me through. A good friend once thought of giving up on feelings, I guess maybe because they tore him up too much. Well, saving that breakdown as a last resort was appealing. But if I try his theory, it's probably a feeling too. It's time for you to tell me how long is forever gonna take me. Might have stumbled once today, or maybe 1,000. Lately it's been harder to keep track. Suppose it don't matter, I don't think you're counting. But it's all I've known, gotta find something new. Oh, it's time for you to tell me how long is forever gonna take me. How loud do I have to shout? How far do I have to fall to see what you see in me? Is that the beautiful irony? I'm at the end of myself, trying to numb the pain. This soil and water I give to the Father I gave you to wash it away. Is that the beautiful irony? Is that the beautiful irony? Is that the beautiful
Yeah, you wouldn't believe the topics that we're talking about off the air. The last word that was spoken was troll. I'm not even going to go there, but yes. What a way to segue out of that song. By the way, I need to know who was reading my journal when they wrote this song. I'm a little concerned right now.
That's Dan.
Uh-huh.
He's a hacker.
Okay. All right. So I'm the troll and he's the hacker. You know, we could start our own fantasy game.
Right.
I'm in.
Trolls and hackers. That does sound good.
Trolls and hackers.
All right. Well, that was the first song. That was, of course, called Beautiful Irony, and I think you really put it into perspective that our journey is not really what we think it is, and there's so much to say. I mean, you and I and all three of us were talking before the show started kind of about the direction we think our ministries are going, but how we have to sometimes wait for God. And it's a beautiful irony at that, because you can be so sure of what you want and what God's calling you to do that you're still stuck in the slow lane. And God's just going, hey, it's in my timing. Just wait.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, let's talk about marriage. And I'm not going to sing the song for you because that was a terrible show. But love and marriage seems to be something you guys portray on a regular basis, basically on your social media and through your promotions. But how did the two of you get together, and were you always musically oriented, or was that something that came together when you got together?
I assume Dan's going to answer that question.
Yeah,
right?
Dan is going to answer that question. So, Dan, who did you marry?
I'm going to take that one. Oh, it was absolutely music that brought us together. Jared was traveling with another band at the time, and he was my guitar instructor. And it didn't take probably 3 lessons to realize that this was going to probably become more than just guitar lessons. But yeah, we were both musically inclined before we met, but then when we met, there was a definite drawing there that there was a gift between us. And we loved making music individually, but something really powerful happened when we began making music together. So it's been an incredible road musically as well.
I think that is a profound, and I find myself not finding the words as I think of my wife, but that's something of a gift. I think when two people come together, they begin to see what even the opposites do when they come together for one common goal. You know, for my wife and I, it's always been youth.
Unified.
You know, we've been around youth for most of our time together for over 20 years. And we even fought to be youth leaders, but we always, even when we didn't even like each other, we were ministering to youth. I mean, it was that's just the thing. And even today, we have youth showing up at our house. And I'm like, who are you? Oh, I'm his friend. And I'm like, okay, come on in. So there's...
Yeah, you must recreate that together.
Where's the food?
That too, yeah. Well, and I learned how to cook. Didn't know how to cook. I learned how to cook, and so yeah, there's definitely, I have 3 teenagers in the house, so that probably brings some of the youth. But you know how it is. Someone comes over to visit your kids. They don't necessarily like the parents. They're just there for the kid. But what I was saying was, there's a gift that when 2 people come together and they do something for the Lord, He gives them something extra that goes with that. So that's really neat to hear that.
Yep, absolutely. We would agree with that.
Well, where does that fit you in, Dan?
Oh man, I'm still scratching my head. Yeah, so I'm all ears at this point.
Spouse-wise, right? Spouse-wise.
Yeah.
Where does that fit?
Is there some kind of dating service you provide with this?
Oh, right. Wow. Well,
Turn up the bass in the next track so people can really hear that bass cut through.
Yeah, she's got to pass the gauntlet of the Adams team over there.
There we go. Well, I was thinking, I have never felt led to charge for interviews. You might have heard an advertisement to kind of support the programs that we play, but Dan, we might be able to talk off air. I might be able to set something up for you. Oh,
You can be very upfront about long-distance relationships.
Yes.
There's a little mileage between us.
A little bit.
Oh, my gosh. Well, you guys have totally taken me off track. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Sure, yeah, that's what we do.
Awesome. So, let's see. I don't want to get into it yet, but Jennifer, let's talk a little bit about it, because I think some of the songs are really going to, especially this next song, is really going to speak to it. You've been fighting a battle that a lot of people don't know anything about.
I have. I was diagnosed in March of this year with what is known as Lyme disease, Lyme, and it basically starts with a bite from a tick, and it's quite common. It's more common than what we realize. I got deathly ill 2 months after having our son Cohen, and for 2 years I was in and out of the hospital, in and out of the ER, and I was diagnosed with everything under the sun, and nothing was making me better. And finally, March of this year, I know the Lord sent an angel. Basically, somebody contacted me through social media and said, I've been following your story, and I think I can help you. And they sent me to a doctor out of New York, and she ran all the blood work, and it came back. Every band of blood that was taken was positive for Lyme disease.
Wow. That's sad, but that's amazing how social media was used. And
absolutely.
I can tell you with this technology, that's how this ministry actually started. 7 people said you should get into broadcasting. I thought they meant I had to go down to the country music station and become a DJ. And 3.5 years, 3.5 years later, I'm sitting here just amazed at what God's doing. But I told you in a chat that I could identify with where the two of you as a couple were coming from, or at least from my perspective, because my wife was diagnosed with terminal illnesses, or things that you don't die from directly, but because of what your body does to react to them, you have a cause for death. And she's actually been fighting that for 15 years. And just within the last 6 years, she was given 5 years to live on her current progress. Thankfully, it's been about 6 years. She's still on this earth. But that's a story that, Jared, for you, that's got to be hard to watch the woman you love for all these years go through something you can't even fix. And if you're like me, like most men, Dan included, if you've got someone you love, you want to fix it. You want to make it right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's torturous. It's devastating. Yeah, to be very honest, I have to fight to be intentional about not isolating too much and just sort of barricading the family in the house here to try and do all I can to keep everybody comfortable and keep us surviving. Mm-hmm. It might be a human tendency to isolate during some of those times when it's just too much to try and communicate with people and keep them updated and answer all the questions. So we have an amazing community here that has certainly been a blessing. But yeah, it's tough on a lot of levels to keep yourself open, and asking for help can be really difficult at times. But that's what has really kept us afloat and provided for us in some amazing ways. So it's a test on every level. Your humility, your ego, your pride, your faith, it's touched every area of our lives.
Well, I know for myself, one of the challenges I've had to face, because, when I started doing Rackman Christian Radio and presenting that and building it up, I had to get over the fear of letting people know I needed help. I still don't like saying it, but it's one of those things I've learned to do. So I can definitely stand with you with understanding there. The problem, that challenge I have, is the person I love is going through so much. Sometimes I want to pull myself away from that person. Not that I don't love them, not that I don't want to be there for them, but when you can't touch them, when you can't speak to them because they're going through so much and they just want to be left alone, that can be so trying on a relationship. And yet I am so blessed that my wife and I have got a system in place. I'm not going to say this works for everybody else, but that if there is some sort of misunderstanding or blow up, that doesn't become the contention for anything further down the road, because we always deal with the struggle. We always talk honestly about what we're talking about. Obviously not during the blow up. Obviously not during, those hurtful words that are being said that neither one of us really mean, but the person who's going through it, the one who's hurting the most, is just crying out for help when there doesn't seem to be any. So, I think while I'm putting myself into this, not to belittle what you're going through, I think people need to understand that as being human, when we're going through all that, we definitely need to seek the Lord's face on that, and we definitely need to find people in our communities, especially within our fellowship, if we have a church to go to, that can stand with us and pray with us and hold us up.
Absolutely. I think one thing for us that this has done, and I try to really find the beautiful pieces of this horrible suffering. I've always been a pretty good stuffer. I think some songwriters are. That's why we write songs. That's how we get it out. But in relationship, we don't always say what we feel or what's going on. And I think this has helped me become even more vocal with Jared about what's been inside all these years. And in a way, before we even met each other, we're spirit, soul, and body, and it all works together. And if something gets out of balance, then your body is gonna get, disease or illness. And so as much as I wish I could click my heels and make it all go away right now, this very minute, it's teaching me how to stand moment by moment, to keep the promises of the Lord at the forefront of my mind. It doesn't mean I do that perfectly every day, but it's something that I strive for. And I really do think it's brought Jared and I closer together. As paradoxical as that is, it's drawing us closer, and we're really, really identifying the things that matter versus the things that don't.
Amen. And with that, we're going to play a song by Anna Gale called Cover Me. You're listening to the New Music Show, Artist Spotlight with Anna Gale.
Don't be afraid of sudden terror. Don't be afraid of noise at night.
Rackman Christian Radio introduces interactive live shows with the Rackman. Tune in live every Monday afternoon, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern for the New Music Show on the Rackman Christian Radio Network. Tune in and discover. Join us. That's right. You're listening to the New Music Show, heard every Monday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you don't like new music, and I don't know anyone who doesn't, we have 2 other live shows on Wednesday. We call it Worship Wednesday or the Worship Show. And then one of my favorites is on Friday nights. Now, I told you guys about it, and you said on the late nights it might actually work. Worship for you, Jennifer, unless you're just really in a bad mood and you want to punch somebody out, then Friday, Freedom Friday, because you'll be free to do it then. But so there's
something for everyone.
Yes, something for everyone. Yeah, we don't provide any violent technology for you, but you know what you do in your own home while you're listening. Well, I wouldn't want you to call in and tell us what that means to you. I can't really use that.
You're a funny guy.
Well, Dan, you've been sitting quietly as a third partner there. I mean, we've been talking about Lyme disease and marriage, which I assume you're not married. And what are your interests in today's events?
Today's events, there's a lot going on in the world today, and I don't always do the best at keeping up with all of it, but it's certainly a sign of the times. There's a lot there's a lot going on, and it just keeps you on your knees, keeps you in prayer, and definitely can test your faith and your trust. Yeah.
So you're the bass player for Anna Gale. You're the core member of the group. You keep these two in line when they're
right.
when they're writing and singing music. Yep. Yeah. You're the translator for everything that happens. I understand that. I'm praying for you, brother. By the way. Anyway, tell us about how you got into music. I mean, you're part of this. You're bringing something to the table.
Yeah. I've been singing and humming along to music since I was about 2 years old. Started playing the piano with my mom. Got involved in a youth group when I was 11, playing the bass guitar, and picked up acoustic guitar shortly after. And a few short years later, met Jared and Jen in the high school youth group at my church, and they just kind of took me under their wing and doing music with them for a long time ever since then. I took guitar lessons from Jared for several years, and I've always loved music as long as I can remember, and that's just how God made me. And
now, was it just the bass? Do you have any other instruments that you were raised on? Like I did piano lessons. Now all I can do is chord. All my piano lessons kind of went.
Yeah, I'm really not proficient on the piano. Acoustic guitar, electric guitar, bass guitar, anything I can get my hands on. I love it all. I've wanted to play drums for a long time, actually.
I could hear me drumming on the keyboard, and I don't mean, bang, bang, bang. I just mean that because I understood the left and right of music when it came to keeping rhythm. I understood the division of chords. You'd look at the bottom chord, I look at the top chord, but I could use both chord patterns to create something. I learned that kind of stuff, but it was definitely a more rhythmic arrangement of maybe a song you thought you knew.
Right. Once the drummer's done with it, it's all.
Oh yeah. It drives my wife crazy, and then I teach my kids to do it, and she's insane. So I can't do anything. But So
anything that I can get my hands on and try to pick up, I just love it. I just don't feel more alive doing anything else. So I just absorb as much as I can and learn as much as I can. So.
What about singing?
Yeah.
Are you proficient in singing, or are you
Yeah, I do. Yep, I do some background vocals with Anna Gale. I've written a few songs on my own, and I love it. I love music. There's not much music out there that I don't enjoy or can't find the good thing about it. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I was thinking, who would want to tell me about If All I Had?
I got looked at. They
Yes,
gave me the eye.
you did. I could see that through my ears all the way from over here.
I'll tell you about it joyfully. If all I had, it seems like we're going to start writing songs that are all about butterflies and bunnies and lots of money, because we prophetically tell our tale. If all I had was written at a time in our life when it appeared as though things were being removed from our hands, and we went through a season of really feeling down on ourselves and saying, Lord, have we displeased you in any way? Have we disobeyed you? What is going on? And really kicking ourselves. And it took a lot of, punching through the fake walls and getting through to a place with the Lord where we began to realize that this wasn't something that he was doing to punish us, but it was something he was doing to strengthen our relationship and commitment to each other as well as to God. And were we gonna follow him? Were we gonna stay in it regardless of what we had or didn't have? And we have experienced great blessing in our life, and now we've experienced great suffering. And if all I had was written and birthed out of that, and we can both tell you whether we live in a tent or a home or sleep under the stars, we are committed till the end.
Amen.
Yeah. And the notion that you can surround yourself with a lot of tools that you can falsely or erroneously identify as necessary to your worship. But when you strip those things away and you're left with nothing but yourself, your hands and your feet, and just your language of connecting with the divine, what's left of you in that moment? So we kind of wrestled with that concept too, of not hiding behind all these things on the fringe, the periphery of worship-enhancing tools, but just yourself alone in a room with your Creator and engaging Him in that way.
Amen. You're listening to the New Music Show, Artist Spotlight, with Anna Gale, If All I Had.
If all I had were my feet to offer you, my King, then I would dance. If all I had were my hands to offer you, my King, then I would lift them just as high as I could to reach you. Open up the sky, see the light of heaven. Open up the sky, let your glory come in. If all I had was my voice, to offer you, my King, then I would sing. If all I had was my heart to offer you, my King, then I'd surrender all, give you
Oh, man. I could listen to this song over and over again. I think you
Remember, you admitted to it. That's all you listen to.
Yeah, I think you guys have written something subliminally into that song because it attracts me. It attracts me. Hey, I went behind your backs. By the way, this is confession time on the Rackman Christian Radio Artist Spotlight. I went behind your backs and I contacted all of our mutual friends and let them know that we were doing a show tonight. And
that's awesome.
At least one of them, I believe Angie Taylor, is listening tonight, and I told her this would be a sample of what our interview would be like if I interviewed her. Now I want to take those words back because I could not have projected this interview on anybody. This has been awesome to be able to spend this time with you and to be just open and transparent. So thank you for that.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Andy.
Which brings us back to Troll.
Yes.
Full circle.
All right, hacker.
Scurrying around in the darkness.
Look, it's Big Ben.
Oh, look.
Yeah.
Facebook. Wow. Yeah. So, back to you, Jared and Jennifer. Right now, you're trying to raise money for treatment for Lyme disease. Now, I know medical care is expensive, but I looked at that. Is it GoFundMe? I think it is. I looked at that, and you only raised part of it. But is that just an ongoing thing? As needs come up, then you kind of, hey guys, we're getting ready to do something else. If you can give, go ahead and give.
Well, it is ongoing, and the Lord is raising up a team here locally. It's taken a little while to get its feet wet, but we've got some advocates that are. They're doing pancake breakfast, and they're doing amazing race fundraisers. We've got lots of different things. There's going to be a chili dinner coming up, and it's not to get all political, but the government doesn't want to recognize the long-term treatment of this. And like you had said earlier about your wife, it's not necessarily the Lyme that we're fighting right now as much as the effects of the Lyme and what it's done to my organs. I've got some serious heart and liver issues that we're contending with on a daily basis. And so whenever you slap that Lyme diagnosis on a health insurance claim form, if it's anything longer than a 30-day treatment, they're going to deny it. So it has left us needing to knock on other doors to figure out how to fund this to get me better and to beat this once and for all.
See, and I can understand why you would then do a fundraiser, and thank you for answering that. That's kind of the same thing as to why I'm doing a fundraiser for my family, because I live in a community where not only is there not really any support in the spiritual community, but the medical community is pseudo-medical. And when I say that a doctor is practicing medicine, that's really all they're doing. They don't even know what they're doing. They're just practicing. And I know that's a play on words, but I'm just going to be transparent here. My wife goes to pick up her prescription, but normally I can go get it, and they wouldn't tell her why. So she gets there. They say, well, before we can give it to you, you need to stick around so we can give you a urine test. And she goes, why would you do that when you shorted me 15 days ago and haven't filled my prescription since then and haven't called me to tell me that I need to do a urine sample?
Wow.
And was completely unprofessional with her. Have accused her of being an addict. Yeah, up in the rafters. No, an addict. And she went to the pharmacy and was telling them about it, and they said, actually, from now on, anytime you have a refill, you contact us. We'll send it in. We'll take care of it for you because we know things about that particular clinic that you have on your diagnosis, terminal illnesses or things that could kill you. They're actually cutting you off because you're not as profitable as a healthy person that'll keep coming back.
That's so sad. We're sorry that you faced them.
So, yeah, I want to get the heck out of Dodge. I don't want to go. I don't want to leave because I want to leave. Does that make sense? So
right.
We know by circumstances what we want to do, but really seeking the Lord on, Lord, what should I do this? Should I really be seeking this much money from total strangers? And
sure.
The answer is resoundingly yes. But I hear from you guys in which your testimony, even though I haven't asked for it directly, your testimony says basically, you know what? We're going to keep moving forward until the Lord tells us not to go this direction. And it's a walk of faith. So
Exactly.
I know that it's in His hands. And my heart had to be changed on how I would present those kind of need-based requests so that, well, one, when things don't happen the way I plan, I don't get so crushed and disappointed. And two, it's all in His hands anyway. Why am I worrying about it?
Right, exactly.
Now,
well, we have miraculously had intervention every time I've had to go over to the Hansa Center out there in Kansas, and those doctors they're amazing. They are set apart. They're God-fearing men, and they believe that the body is wise and knows how to heal if given the proper foundation and tools to heal. So no doubt that we are in the best hands.
Amazing, and that's what I'm praying that we can find, and or a miracle happens in this community and drops right in our lap. You know what?
We'll add it to the prayer list.
Yep, absolutely. Well, listen, I have one more song, and then I definitely want people to find out more about this fundraiser that you're doing and how they can assist, how they can get in contact with you. But before we do that, the last song we're going to play tonight, in fact, it's the fourth song and the only song we have. So, guys, any more new music, you be sure you know where to send it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
All right.
You got it.
All right. Tell us about Where I Was.
Yeah. Or where was I? This song was actually written by our producer, Keith Pollisay. He wrote it for one of my all-time favorite gals, Faith Hill. Our daughter may or may not have been named after her. But basically, she turned it down and didn't want to sing it. And I said, I will take Faith's hand-me-downs. I am so good with that. But and we picked it for a very specific reason, you know, and there's so many relationships out there right now that they give up pretty quickly. The going gets tough, and they decide they're going to turn the cold shoulder and walk. And I think that for marriages to survive this day and age, there's got to be a resounding resolve to the commitment. And you've got to surround yourself with people that love you enough to say, hey, we're not going to let you do this. So basically, that's where that song came from, and I was delighted to sing it and delighted to present the message from it.
That's awesome. You outstaged Faith Hill. Is that what I'm understanding?
Well, one would like to think so, yes.
Yes.
I love you, Faith.
That's a strong word, but we're going to go with it.
Yeah, we're going to go with that. I'm on your guys' side. Faith can't even talk back to us, so guess what? Yeah, I'll be getting a
She's
phone.
not returning your call?
No, but guess what? I'm in trouble now because she's going to find out about this. She's going to call me. Her attorneys are going to be talking to me. Oh, man, I tell you. Not really.
We got your back. We got your back.
Thanks. Well, before we digress any further, here's Where I Was on the New Music Show and Artist Spotlight with Anna Gale. You're listening to the New Music Show and Artist Spotlight with Anna Gale, and I am sad. Our time is almost over. We've actually gone. We're going for a record, apparently, with these interviews. Pretty soon it'll just be a 2-hour interview. I mean, what can I say? But we've been together from the 10 minutes early that you called. We've been on the phone for over an hour. What is wrong with you guys?
Yeah, we're superfluous.
Yes.
I told you.
Yeah. Redundant sequencing kicking in. So, before we go, tell us how, one, we can help you out with your fundraiser for your treatment for Lyme disease.
Fantastic. Well, if you are willing to put our Anna Gale music page out there, we will put a link on that page for people to go to. We have a GoFundMe account. We also have a nonprofit for people that need to or want to give bigger amounts and need to have a tax write-off. They can also give to that link, and we'll make sure to have that posted as well. So there's a couple different ways that people can give.
Okay, so where are they going to find those links? Obviously, you've got a Facebook page, websites, and stuff like that?
Right,
Yep.
Anna Gale Music page. If you're able to put something up on your Twitter, so that's, what is it, Anna Gale Music on Facebook. They can find it, ANNAGAIL, and we will get those links right up at the top of that page.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do, when we get off the air, I'll get more details, and I will put something on our website as well, and
Sure.
put that on the top of the page for you. And you said website. I'm going to cheat. I was just so overcome by what we were going through here together on this journey. But you're on Twitter as Anna Gale Music, and is that the same as the website?
Yep. AnnaGale.net is our website.
Okay.
There's links. We're on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, Rhapsody, just about anywhere you can look. You can find us.
We're going to be having some new YouTube stuff going up here real soon, and people can also find our EPK, our electronic prep kit, on YouTube by searching Anna Gale EPK.
Yeah.
Really? Ah. Well, now I open up this for you. Is there anything you would like to ask, say, or otherwise profoundly speak as the final topic on our Artist Spotlight?
Well,
I love doing that to you guys. I put you right on the spot.
This is a great chance to impress everyone and be highly literate and
There you go.
profound. But I think I'm going to blow it too. I think it was Faulkner who said that basically the only thing worth writing about is the human heart in conflict, and I think we can tend to bury that, as you guys were talking about earlier, stuffing our wrestling and stuffing our questioning of life going on around us, and you know what Dan said about the state of the world, the conflict of nations and of people groups and religions, that those need to be processed, they need to be sung about, they need to be written about. Recent tragedies, even close to your area, it creates a lot of conflict in our heart, and we can't stuff them, but we also can't turn into bitter, silent old men who just gripe about things too. We need to put action behind it. So stay engaged in our world, stay engaged in where you are, with your community, with your creator and your family, and be present to every moment.
Amen. Amen. And while we were off the air, I got a song request from Jennifer, because nobody else wanted to participate in that. They claimed that they had too many favorites and they didn't want to participate. So Jennifer, this is for you, my friend. I'm in your corner, okay? Yeah.
I love you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But Need to Breathe has a new single out. I just found the pop mix of all things. This should be interesting.
Yeah, I heard that the other day.
Yeah, this should be interesting. And then you guys stay on the line with me so we can talk a little bit more before I absolutely have to let you go.
Okay.
Fantastic. Well, this concludes our interview with Anna Gale on our Artist Spotlight for our new music show. But don't go away. There's more music, including this song request. Need to Breathe, Brother, the Pop Mix.
Like a bull chasing the matadors, a man left to his own schemes. Everybody needs someone beside him, shining like a lighthouse from the sea. Brother, let me be your shelter, never leave you all alone. I can be the one you call when you're low. Brother, let me be your fortress when the night winds are driving home. Be the one to light the way, bring you home. Face down in the desert now, there's a gate locked around my heart. I found a way to drop the keys on my failures where now my hands can't reach that far. I ain't made for rivalry, and I can never take the world alone. I know that in my weakness I am stronger, but it's your love that brings me home. Brother, let me be your shelter, never leave you all alone. I can be the one you call when you're low. Brother, let me be your fortress when the night winds are driving home. Be the one to light the way, bring you home. Brother, let me be your shelter, never leave you all alone. I can be the one you call when you're low. Brother, let me be your fortress when the night winds are driving home. Be the one to light the way, bring you home. Brother, let me be your shelter, never leave you all alone. I could be the one to call when you're feeling low. Brother, let me be your fortress when the night winds are driving home. Be the one to light the way, bring you home. Brother, let me be your shelter, never leave you all alone. I can be the one you call when you're home. Brother, let me be your fortress when the night winds are driving home. Be the one to light the way, bring you home. Be the one to light the way, bring you home.
The Rackman Show is a presentation of the Rackman Christian Radio Network. If you have any questions or comments, please reach us by telephone 530-643-7222 or send us an email to info@racmanchristianradio.org. This concludes our live broadcast. God bless you. We'll see you next time.